The Senate has joined well-meaning Nigerians in calling out the government to do something fast about the hardship Nigerians are going through. In calling out the Tinubu administration, they warned Tinubu that the patience of Nigerians is quickly running out, that Nigerians can no longer continue to bear all the suffering, all the high cost of living that they didn't bring on themselves. It was caused by the same government, that they should do something fast. The Senate resolutions came under the motion titled Urgent Need to Address Food Insecurity and Market Exploitation of Consumables in Nigeria. The motion was sponsored by two APC senators, Sunday Karimi representing Kogi West Senatorial District and the Senate Whip, Senator Ali Ndume of Borno South Senatorial District. While moving the motion, Senator Karimi said, quote, "The latest data by Nigeria's National Bureau of Statistics shows that food inflation in the country skyrocketed to 40.66% on a year-on-year basis, a significant increase from the 24.82% recorded in May 2023. The Senate is aware the current market price of food items such as beans, maize, rice paddy, yam, tomatoes and onions, which initially rose by about 40% after the removal of petroleum subsidy, has now increased to over 100% to 300% without any attributable reason for the increase in prices," unquote. The Senate also warned the Tinubu-led federal government to take measures to fight the food insecurity in the country by outlining some measures to combat the situation. They also warned that the level of hunger and poverty in Nigeria right now, that people's patience and tolerance are both elastic, but they are not eternally elastic as people are already losing patience with the government. So in other words, they are trying to say that it is very urgent. They should deal with the food insecurity, the high cost of living, the hunger, everything. Otherwise, things can quickly get out of control. There are reports of shortage of bread in Kaduna, Kano, and Katsina State, that many bakeries in these states stopped baking bread because of the high cost of flour. As a result, the few that are still in operation hike the price of bread. Of course, high demand equals high cost of the food. People are already hitting the streets and protesting in Kaduna. Although this video isn't verified, but it's still circulating on social media. People are angry, they are hungry, they can't buy bread, the bread isn't even available. It's just a sign of things to come. Anyway, the senators are right, despite being part of the problem. For once, let them speak for Nigerians. They are supposed to be representing Nigerians, but the way they behave and connive with people in power, they are part of the people in power and behave as if everything is right in this country. The senators budgeted billions and billions of naira for themselves. They bought cars, luxury SUVs that are worth millions of naira. They budgeted 20-something billion naira for a library in the National Assembly complex, while student loan is just a measly 5 billion naira. There are millions of Nigerian students who are expected to apply for the student loan. Only 5 billion naira for all of them is not justifiable. Are we talking about the billions of naira they budgeted for constituency projects, where a borehole costs 120-something million naira against the going cost of about 5 or 10 million naira? So the Senate has been a clog in the wheel of progress in Nigeria. They are a leech, sucking Nigeria dry. Look at how their budget has grown over the years. Their latest budget is the highest of all, 300 and something billion naira for just people that are less than 1,000. The elected members of the National Assembly are less than 500. Add the administrative staff of the National Assembly, they can be up to 1,000. But they have a humongous budget of 300 and something billion naira. A time Nigerians are facing the worst hardship in their lives. So despite the fact that they are telling the government the truth, that they should do something fast about the hunger and hardship, they are still part of the problem. They contribute to why the little resources cannot reach the right sectors that will make serious impact, that will turn around the economy. When they take a whopping 300 billion naira from the national budget, How much we go to agriculture, how much we go to economic development, how much we go to education. The executive branch is not helping matters also. They are more politically focused instead of economically focused. Why create a new livestock ministry when you already have 48 ministers, the largest in Nigeria's history? And they are adding another one. This one now they will appoint a substantive minister and appoint a minister of state. That's 2 more people. That's making it 50 ministers in the cabinet. All these are wasteful expenditures. There's no need for a new ministry. They have Ministry of Agriculture. Let them do the job. But because they want to appease some people, they decided to create this ministry a few days after they demanded for it. Yes, when a government is politically focused, you can't get the right results. And for Nigerians to take the senators and National Assembly members seriously, they must cut down on their criminal salaries and allowances. It's very strange that in a poor country like Nigeria, elected officials will have the audacity to be earning humongous salaries, especially at a time of serious hardship when every penny counts. How can people be this heartless? They are taking home humongous salaries and pretending as if they are doing something for the people. Let them start by cutting down the cost of running the National Assembly. Everything is a jamboree for them. They move in groups, use presidential jets, move in long convoys and motorcades. They are just there for themselves and not for the people. So let them not deceive Nigerians. If they don't want to cut down their salaries, then there's no deal. They are part of the whole mess. After all, they are shouting that there is no money to pay workers a living wage. But here we are, they are earning billions of naira as salaries. Well, this is the fault of Nigerians, not necessarily their fault. Because if Nigerians are taking it, sitting down and doing as if nothing is happening, they can continue increasing their budget and nothing will happen, no consequence. This is why young Nigerians must know that their lives are wasting away. These leaders are wasting your lives away for you. If you were in your 20s in the early 2000s, that means you are in your 40s right now. What have you achieved? When one is in his 20s, it's the time he will get on the property ladder. He will use the first years of his work life to save for the advance to get a home mortgage. Instead of paying rent, you will now convert that rent to repaying your mortgage. That's how life works. While you are in your 20s, late 20s, you can get married. In your 30s, you start raising your family. By the time you're into 40s and 50s, you're talking about retirement. That's how life works. But in Nigeria, leaders continue wasting the time of people. They do nothing, they just maintain the status quo, they earn salaries, they just run the state without improving the system. So it is the lives of the ordinary man that is being wasted. When you are in your 50s, you are getting tired, you can no longer walk. Is it that time that you get a mortgage or build your own house? Or is it that time you're talking about getting married when others are talking about being grandfathers and grandmothers? So this is the problem. Either people wake up and fight for their future now. It's no longer their future. We're talking about a generation coming after the current generation because this current generation is already lost. There is no hope in the next 10 years that things will improve in the current Nigeria. That's the reality. People are busy fighting over things that don't matter. They are not focused on the goal. If they are focused on the goal, things can improve quickly. That's the reality. So let people stop giving excuses. They need to unite and identify their common enemy and drop all their prejudices and biases, and they can achieve their goal in the nearest future. Thanks for watching.